is up, Unity community, and welcome on in to another official Unity live stream here on both twitch.tv/Unity or on the official Unity YouTube page. Wherever you're watching, we see you out there. Thank you for being here. Please hop into the chat and let us know that you're hanging out with us today. We are kicking off a very special 5-part series, essentially, celebrating, preparing, and participating in Global Game Jam 2025. That's right. Today we are going to be playing some of the Global Game Jam hits from yesteryear, featuring the one and only Mike Geig. The legend returns. And then we can tell you all about the rest of the schedule leading up to the event later this month. We, of course, saw some questions earlier on. Is this about a game jam that's starting, or is it already over? What are we doing? Is this about a game jam? Wonderboy and Ruffer, I see you guys. It's great to have you here. We're going to play games today. Tomorrow, we're going to be joined by some Unity insiders, Lana Lux and Soren. We're going to be talking about a game jam survival guide. And then next week, Tuesday and Thursday, we will have Team Unity together to do the game jam, participate, and create all on their own before we eventually get to the following week where we unveil the final product. But again, if you're here and you're hanging out, please let us know where in the world you are tuning in from. And a question I'd like to hear from you all today. Question of the day, let's call it, what video game are you playing right now? Not like in this exact moment, but like in this moment in time. You know what I mean? So please come back and get excited for all of those Global Game Jam related streams. We've got a whole schedule available for you. You can check out the Discord to see all of the events, or the YouTube page already has all of those live as well. This is something that we started last stream that I'd like to continue. There is a survey that I have put in both the Twitch and YouTube chats. We want to learn more about you and what type of content you want to engage with here during these live streams. So please come and hang out, fill out that survey, let us know what you think, and we're going to try to go bigger and better in 2025 here. I'm excited for it. Of course, my name's Jackson. I'm one of your community managers, and I'm responsible for all the live stream content here. So please come and hang out, and let's make it a really exciting place to be together. Tasty Graph on the Twitch side is tuning in from Denmark, the birthplace of Unity, and also Harold Bluetooth. Lone Luminary Dev on the YouTube side has been playing Fortnite, whereas Alex Lex has been playing Sons of Forest. All very solid picks. So without further ado, I think it's time we get the stream started. I think we need to bring in the legend themselves. Please welcome back to the stream, the one and only Mike Geig. Hold on. We had you muted, but do your bit again.
Oh my God!
I know. Hold on. We'll cut away. We'll come
all
back,
right,
and you can do the bit again.
God. Jeez. All right. What?
Welcome to the stream, Mike Geig.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. See, it just doesn't feel good the second time.
No, I think it was honestly maybe better the second time. Everybody,
this is what happens when you go live.
This is it.
Hi.
Anything can happen. So, Mike, you essentially helped spearhead and create this Twitch channel when we when it started, and the YouTube the live stream platform in general
back in the day.
How long ago was that? What sort of content did you guys focus on when you started?
2013 we started this stuff, and it was a lot of just, hey, join us live while we just make things, and sometimes they were good and sometimes they weren't, and it was fun because we got to do like a bunch of like stick figure drawings to promote it. Things were a little different back then. And I've been lucky enough to be at Unity ever since, now running the advocacy team at Unity, where every once in a while I get the pleasure of hopping on these live streams, which I still very much enjoy, especially when today's not even really work, right? Like today we're playing games, like, oh no, my job today is to play games. So always really enjoyable. Fredo says, great, might kind of look like God of War Kratos, which that's high praise. That's going to keep my ego high for months now.
Yeah. I was going to request that you give us your best boy, but I didn't want to bring down the ego as it was just building up. You know what I mean?
No, well, I mean, of course I can't compete with the voice of Kratos, who the voice actor's name is escaping me right now.
Isn't it a Christopher? A Chris something? Oof. I'm also upset. I'm also
Man,
upset
yeah,
because
right.
this is
He has
something that I normally get right away. Chat,
Chris
if you know,
Judge.
please help. What is it?
I thought it was Judge, but I was like, am I just thinking of Mike Judge? So Chris Judge is what chat says here. He's
Thank
great
you.
series on YouTube where he just tells dad jokes in the voice of Kratos, by the way, which
No, that's solid.
uh,
That's really solid.
yeah.
But also holds the record for the longest acceptance speech in any award show history.
Who does?
Christopher Judge, because when he got the award last year at the Game Awards for Best Voice Actor, he went up and talked for 8 minutes straight. And they let him, and he was talking about how his co-star was like the future of acting in games and performance capture and stuff. So, yeah, longest acceptance speech in award show history.
Well, there you go. Now we're all learning today.
We're learning. That's what we come here to do. We're here to learn.
You don't interrupt Kratos when he's talking, right? You just let that go. Like,
you don't get in the way of that.
It's your show now.
Yeah. Skylar King says, hey, Mike, long time no see. Excited to see these games. We're excited to have you here, Skylar. Now, Mike, you mentioned that you've been here ever since you started the live streams. How long have you been at Unity, and how have you seen your role within kind of change over that time?
Yeah, it's so I've been here a little over 11 years, and I started on what was just called the Learn team back then. So a lot of YouTube videos, obviously the live streams on the Twitch channel. That team evolved to become like the Learn website that you all know now, and learn.unity.com. If you're not familiar, check it out. It's pretty awesome. At one point, I was the one trainer for the entire globe for any like premium training, so I'd fly all over the place for that. And then I've really been involved in evangelism or advocacy, or whatever the name happens to be right now. It's advocacy, since where we basically we travel around, we go to events. We'll be participating in Global Game Jam. Myself, I'll be in Malaga, Spain. I hope I'm saying that right. Malaga. I assume Malaga. I have no idea. Other members will be in Boston and Portland. I think some folks are in Denmark and London and Austin. So all over the place. But we participate in game jams and give presentations at events. We do school visits, customer visits, just a lot of really cool stuff. And webinars and things like that as well. So been doing work like that for quite some time, and just still really digging. I'm glad COVID sizzled down, because now we can probably be back out there. That really put a damper on things, but just been enjoying it the whole time. And thanks Unity account for posting the learn.unity.com. Definitely check that out.
You're welcome.
You right on.
I've had the opportunity, the pleasure, if you will, to see your team in action. Of course, we all went to Unite together, and then from there, myself and a small portion of your team hopped over to Finland, and I was able to kind of see like the devs days that we hosted at the Unity office there, which was really, really cool. But just to kind of see your team go in and basically be a friendly face. Right? Unity is huge. It's, if you mention it to anyone in the industry, they know what it is immediately, but it always has kind of that corporate like frame around it. And it's so sweet to see you guys hop in and be like, no. We're the people that you're here to interact with and that you talk with. And you've shared with me some of the sentiment around like, hey, you guys are here, and that means a lot as what you receive as feedback. So I think that's super cool. It's similar to what I do, except mine's almost entirely digital. And then you go and your boots on the ground in a lot of ways. So you're going to Spain. What other travel locations do you have planned in the next little while?
Man. Well, first off, I'm still dealing with the cognitive dissonance of friendly face and you look like Kratos. But
Kratos is a good dad. That's a friendly thing.
This is true. I will say too, fun fact, I love the God of War games, and the two most recent ones where he has the son Atreus. When I played the first one, my oldest son was the same age as Atreus, and I was like, man, this really resonates. Whoa. And then when I played the second one, my oldest son was the same age as Atreus, and I'm like, okay, this still really resonates. So they did an amazing job
so cool.
Writing those characters. But so we got a lot coming up, man. So obviously we got Montreal, we got stuff in Belgrade, we got stuff in Sofia, we've got stuff in Helsinki, stuff in Copenhagen, we've got stuff in Austin, we've got stuff in San Francisco, we've got we're on the road a lot. So
I was gonna say your team's 5, 6, maybe 7 people, and you guys are on the road. Like, do you have a sense for how many countries you went to last year, or like how much of your year was spent traveling?
I went to 6 new countries last year. I'm up to 37 countries total and 5 territories.
Dang.
But I don't know how many countries total. I'd have to look at my passport. It is fun though in this role. Like something you never think you'd have to do is my passports don't expire; they fill, and I have to get new ones.
Yep.
Because you can only get so many visa stamps, and so
Yeah.
a lot of travel,
So
a lot of
when
travel. But
there's
it's
like,
awesome. Yeah.
oh, it's great. And when there's a 10-year passport, you're like, no, because that's just going to fill up in that time. Like, I'm just going to get the 5. It doesn't matter. Go the cheaper option. But so we're
Yeah.
talking Global Game Jam. Of course, Global Game Jam kicks off later this month. We have
Around the globe.
extensive coverage that we're planning. Mike's going to be in Spain managing there. Mike, can you give us a little bit of your background in like your actual development? Like prior to working at Unity, even while working at Unity, you have worked to create games. Can you tell us
Yeah.
about some of the development history and then some of the connection to game jams that you've maybe participated in?
Yeah. So, I mean, well, one, been a part of Global Game Jam now for a long, long time. And I pride myself in Global Game Jam, me personally, of making the most absurd and over the top violent games I can possibly make. So that's why no one ever sees them. I generally don't show them to anybody because it's like I remember one year the theme was like a heartbeat. And so I made the game, me and a few other folks made Heartbeater, where you play Jack the Lumberjack beating up the elves that are trying to save the forest, and they would just explode and you'd collect their hearts, and it was just really violent. Mostly because I wanted to play around with like the new particle system at the time, and I was like, all right, that's what we're gonna do. So I love game jams because they're a chance to learn something new and make something that doesn't really matter. Like it can matter, and don't get me wrong, a lot of actually great games start as game jam games, but for you could just be like, I'm gonna do this stupid thing and it won't matter. It is great. It's a great way to spend a weekend. Prior to working at Unity, I taught actually at a couple of universities, and I did a lot of indie dev, but never any games you're going to hear of. I did a lot of like serious games. I did like training simulations for different companies. I did like a firefighter simulator for the city of Boston way back in the day. So I did a lot of stuff like that. This was before mobile games, right? Really were a big thing. So it's always fun to kind of like re-emerge myself in the industry when I visit customers and stuff like that and be like, what is it like now? Because everything is so different nowadays. So yeah, I love seeing how things evolve. You know, dip your toes in, do some side projects. Again, game jam games get a great chance to get started on stuff, do some contract stuff here and there. But for the most part, I've just focused a lot on like educating. It's great because at Unity anyway, I get to make games that don't have to be any good because I'm just using them to teach stuff, so they can just be really stupid games. And for folks who remember like some of the early live streams way back when I was running them, we had like Better Living Through Lasers. There was the waffle teleporter game, if anyone remembers that one, where you'd shoot the waffles around and then teleport to them and try to explode out from inside your opponent, right? It was almost like a game of tag in that way. We had the fun with explosions with the teddy bears and stuff. I don't know if anyone on the channel now was around back then, but that's the sort of stuff that I like doing. So,
well, maybe we need to resurrect some of those things, and either you come back, maybe we remaster. That's like all the rage in the last 5 to 10 years of the industry. You come back and we remaster. What was the waffle one? That sounded like my favorite.
The waffle teleporter game. I mean, I do think the idea of remastering means it had to be mastered to begin with, and I wouldn't call any of them those or that. But still, you got a lot of fun there. So
yeah,
anyone who hasn't participated in Global Game Jam or any game jam, really, I cannot recommend it enough. You get to make some really fun, stupid, silly stuff. It's great.
Yeah. If we were to take a step back and go even more broad and just complete overview, if someone in here has never touched a game jam, what is the spirit of a game jam? What are you trying to accomplish? What are the parameters that you kind of operate within?
Oh man. It's kind of like sitting down with your friends and doing a big like what if, knowing that you can actually make it happen in some fashion, right? Like it's this cool, like what if this, what if this, what if this? So it's just really fun and energetic. But at the same time, you're on fire. But at the same time, you're wearing like a fire suit, so it's not that big of a deal. But you know the fire will eventually eat through that suit. So you are really on a timetable. That's how I would describe the sensation. It's a lot of fun, right? It's a lot of sleeplessness, and it's a lot of like, let's make this thing work. Can we make this thing work? I don't know. Let's try it. And often the thing you end up with is nothing like what you started trying to do. And because you have to work fast. So you make evolutions, you make choices based on timelines and who's on your team and stuff like that. And it's really fun. And you always have like the floating artists who are like lending their art to everything. And there's always the one guy or girl who does the music for like everyone, right? It's just kind of neat. There's certain personas arise. But yeah, if you've never done it, check it out. If you've never done game development at all, doesn't mean you can't participate. A lot of people make board games, like actual physical games. A lot of people do game design as a part of this, right? So they go and they help design some of the elements. Though I've been part of plenty of them where all the art had to be drawn using a mouse and using Microsoft Paint, right? So like everyone can do art. Everyone can do art, and you do all the sound effects with your mouth and a microphone, and you sing the songs and you make the sound. Like everyone can make games. So if you've never done it before, I think the most difficult part is actually just going, right? People tend to psych themselves out. Once you're there, it's actually a very inclusive environment. It's a lot of fun. Everyone's running around. It's crazy. It's a good time.
Yep. So there's physical sites kind of all over the world. You can check out the Global Game Jam website to find something near you that you could participate in, but there's a time frame and there's not a physical limitation in any way. So if you wanted to just get some friends together and work remotely, you could absolutely do that as well. Now, I know as we've been putting out this survey, and like I said, I want to learn more about you guys and what type of content you want. One of the consistent themes that I've seen in those responses is that you guys want to learn stuff. You come here because you want to learn something. If you want to pick up a small tip here or there, maybe it refines your own process. Maybe it equips you to go and create something new. So while today Mike and I are going to go through and play some of these games, Mike has a wealth of knowledge. So if you guys have any questions about things, or I mean, already just in the way that Mike has discussed his approach to game jams and that type of things, I hope that you guys take something away from this of like, hey, I feel more equipped or more able to take on game jams or any of those types of things. And checking in with everybody again live here in Twitch and YouTube chats. We've got Game Dev Saga saying hello, Ellie Dev saying hello, Don LeBlanc saying, I wish the stock would improve. It's on its way up, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not paying attention to it.
I don't look. I don't
look either. Game Worlds Technology and Development LLC says, wanted to stop by and show some love for all the indie devs. Welcome on in. On the Twitch side, we've got Laker. We've got A Rain of Jazz. We've got Liz Kimber coming in to say, hey. Refer saying, is the game jam starting? I've been waiting for a Unity game jam. So this one is not Unity led, but Mike, it's something that I've thought long and hard on, that with our live stream platform and the community that we have here, it would not be outside the realm of reality to essentially host our own.
We've kicked the idea around a lot, and I think we're constantly getting closer to actually executing on it. So, I mean, I see a couple of folks showing some love for the idea here, but if this is something the community really wants, then I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I think it'd be really cool. I know that we're an official sponsor and partner with Global Game Jams. And I know that we had Crazy Web Game Jam back in November where we did something similar, and we helped support them and encourage everyone to participate. But if we ran our own and then it was fully through, the kickoff and the finale on the live streams, and then we brought in everyone's games that we wanted to play, I think that would be really fun. So it could be very, very cool. Something to look into, to consider for sure. Also, we've got Danny. Danny's here. Also a Unity friend. Says also help sponsor Nordic Game Jam. That's right.
Well, yeah.
Nordic Game Jam. Big one. Big one.
That is a good one. That is a good one. Yeah. In April this year.
That's great. Oh, April. I might not be. April's so far away. Anything can happen between now and then.
Anything can happen by then, yeah.
We could have our own competing one by then. We won't. That's stupid. We wouldn't do that. Sean Peoples on the Twitch side says, nice to see the channel have this format. Of course, at the root of all that we do here on these channels is community and connection. So whether it's something casual like this, where we're coming to just play some games and show off some things that we really like, at the root of it, you're going to get us connecting with you. You are here as part of the Unity community, and we really value that for sure. Miss Marjorie says that I participated in the Crazy Web Game Jam. That's great. If you guys have participated in a jam in the past, please hop in the chat, let us know. And while you do that, I think it's time that we pull up our first game here. So Mike, we'll get you prepped on our tech side. And we have pulled 5 games. Whether or not we have time to get through all of them is yet to be seen, but we'll kind of walk you through the process as we touch on each of them. Basically, I got a short list from the Global Game Jam team. They said, here's 8 to 10 games. And I said, cool, we don't have time for all of them. I said, Mike, pick your favorites. So Mike pulled a shorter short list, and we've got a handful that we're going to play through today. We'll talk about a little about when they were created, how they were created, whatever details we have. And then Mike, I'd love to just hear why you think these games were great and what you like about them.
Right on. Yeah, absolutely. I've got the first one queued up here. The first one we're playing here is Dr. Emoji. Now, I'm going to get studio names probably pretty wrong here. Is Vainary, maybe? Vainary seems like to be the name of it, but is the folks of the team name that made this game. It was from 2020, so the theme that year was repair. So I really, really enjoyed this game because it's entirely in emojis. And you got these fun little characters. This guy or gal looks like Reno from Final Fantasy VII. So let's just start with this one.
The hair is very Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So got a nice little walk animation coming in here. There's strutting.
Swagger.
Yeah, a little swagger. Got that little bolo tie going on. And this is the thing. They only communicate in emojis, and you have no idea what it means. So it looks like, okay, he's got his fingers crossed. Something's happening. They hope something's good. But then something bad happened. And they're looking at someone was talking to him, maybe with the thumbs down. And so it's like, well, should we be calling him a liar? Maybe that's what that means. Should we shake hands and keep it a secret? Should we be like just smiling, give him a thumbs up? I feel like, two people, they were like this, but then they're like, hey, let's not talk about it. So I'm like, yeah, let's just agree. We keep that a secret. And I'm going to turn the volume up on this one here a little bit because
that's good. We're getting some of the vibes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But here, I'll turn it up just so you can hear how you sound when you talk. So we've got alarm maybe woke them up. Winky face, they told a lie and they didn't mention the rat. So maybe someone was a rat. I don't know. And then the mad person had infinite punches, maybe. So I'm just going to be like, okay, well, maybe you should break up with them. I don't know. Yeah, I love that part. I would love to be sound design on this.
Honestly, anytime someone mentions a game jam, I'm like, I can't do it. I don't have a dev background, but there's ways that I want to contribute. And it is like, give me a microphone and just let me record nonsense for you. And like, I'll do it. So if you're creating a game jam and you reach out to me and say, Jackson, I want you to garble some nonsense, I'll do it. Let me know.
We got this. Yeah. Someone in chat, Eli was like Global Game Jam 2020 lol. And I don't quite know what you mean by that, but thinking back, we were so innocent then. That was January of 2020. Oh man, the world was our oyster.
Oh shoot. So you're right. This was January. This was before the world fell apart.
What a theme too. Repair was the theme that year.
Wow.
All right. So again, infinite punches, writing and making someone cry. And then two people, one person's mad. They're exclaiming and then they're questioning something. So like we could be like, here's more handshakes and you can have a key and a clover, or like let's just burn it all down, or these monkeys, like we didn't see or do anything. So I'm just gonna what do we want to do? Do we want to burn it down, or do we want to be the monkeys here? Like, hey, I didn't hear or see anything.
If it's me, it's burn it down. I choose chaos this morning.
Let's woke up today and chose violence. All right, exactly. Let's see. Now they're gonna tell me how I did. Let's see how I did.
There's an evaluation.
There is an evaluation in the term of thumbs ups.
I like the art style on this. I like the lights.
I got 3 out of 5.
That's a pass.
That's a pass, right? Like I feel pretty good about that. Yeah. Did I make their life instantly better? No. But
interesting. So you're going through basically each one. It gives you a little bit of a snippet of what their problem might be.
Yeah, like maybe this person's afraid of ghosts.
I think that's the one for us.
I think we got to check out the ghosts.
Oh, whoa. Oh, they're coping,
They are coping, or maybe just a little bit too much Xanax, maybe. I'm not sure. So, and they're breathing really heavy too. It's creepy. All right. So there's stars in their eyes. There's some time, a moon, and it's time to party. So, okay. So happy, maybe it's time to party, but then they were walking. Oh, someone was walking and they died. They were walking when they shouldn't. And now they're back as a ghost. Okay. So someone died and is back as a ghost, right? And so I could be like, all right, you're obviously drunk. I feel like that's what that. It's funny. We've been playing this like 2 minutes and now I'm like, oh, I get it now. I'm reading this this is now part of my vocabulary. Yep. Or, ghosts. Sure. I don't quite believe you, or ghosts. So I'm obviously it's not my job to be judgmental here.
Right.
So I'm gonna be like, yeah, please expound.
Yeah.
So in the sunlight, walking around, everything's fine. You went to a soothsayer or a mystic, right? And they told you about luck here, and you're like, wait a minute, how can I be lucky if there's ghosts? And now I could be like, well, maybe you still be lucky, or maybe you should say hi to the ghost, or I don't believe in fortune tellers. So
Mike, you're not kidding. Like this is like another language that you just learned. Like you rocked up and you were like, 5 minutes of this, I'm fluent.
I got this, man. Put me in, coach. All right. So I don't feel like bagging on the fortune teller. I don't think that's right, even though we know that's not real. That's a astrology symbol, right? Yeah. I don't know which one. That seems like an astrology symbol.
My brain says Sagittarius, but I have no idea. Chat, can you help us identify this astrology?
Yeah, chat. Who knows astrology? But this one's like, okay, that's supposed to be lucky. Why isn't it lucky? But I'm like, let's just embrace this ghost, right? Yeah. Like, all right. So that's what everyone's saying. Roll my eyes, but then I see the ghost. It totally freaks me out. When I'm sleeping, there the ghost is, and so maybe you should stay asleep and you won't notice the ghost, or you can hang out with some other people, or again, I don't believe you about the ghost. I'm saying just stay asleep, right? Just
sleep through it. Don't even bother.
Yeah, right. Like,
okay. So is each of them 3 options? Oh my god, I forgot.
Yeah, like we didn't fix this one.
No,
oh, that one, they said that one was Leo.
Oh, 5.
Bam. Woo! Oh my god.
Kloppy, thank you for letting us know that was Leo.
That was Leo. All right.
We also have.
Should we do one more?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do one more.
Like, all right, which one do you want?
Middle left has no. It seems like he has no friends, and that makes me sad.
Do we want to help middle left?
Can we go bottom left? Because ironically, starting in January, there's someone who's terrified of illness.
There's January someone who's afraid of the plague. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's coming in like he owns this place. Look at that walk.
He's mad.
He's like, I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
I'm wear my big boy pants. All right. So I'm a very smart dude, obviously. And I'm studying bacteria and people that are sick, and I'm really worried about the state of the world here. Which is, man, if that's not prophetic. Well, I could be like, hey, stop talking about how book smart you are. No one likes that. Or maybe it's, a smaller problem than you think it is. Or, man, I don't really know how to help you. So I'm going to be like, maybe it's not such a big deal, even though we know that's not the case. All right. So these people, they're cold, sweating, they got sneezing, right? So... Well, we could say people are liars here. I don't quite know what that top one means. He's like, so if you're stressed and you're sleeping, if you're worried and you want to sleep softly, right? Wear a mask, right? Other people are like, hey, that shit don't work. And so don't handshake, fist bump, or clashing because I want to wear a mask. And they're just like, hey, you're full of it.
Right.
So we can either clash or be like, hey, I'm smart. So it's cool, bro. All right. So we'll just go with that one. All right, so you wear the mask, you sleep soundly, right? Then you study, you get your diploma, but that makes you worry more, which is true. And then, so the star comes by. You wish on a shooting star.
Okay.
And your wish did not come true. So.
I like top left. Just like, who cares? Party.
Yeah, just go with it. Live your life, or let's get drunk.
Okay.
Or you know what?
You're a nerd.
This one. Not really. Yeah. You're a nerd, but that's okay. I feel like this person, they're really strong into their nerd persona. Man, I feel like just having a beer or partying,
mellow them out a little bit.
Right. Exactly. I'd like maybe just get out with some of those folks you're conflicting with. And I think that's about. It's about building relations, build those bridges.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chat's just watching it all. Like no one's even talking.
He's on his way out. He does. I will say he didn't.
I don't feel like I did well. Oh, okay.
Not bad though. That was your second best one.
Not bad. Yeah. So, all right.
I really like this game. I think this is super cool. Also, like they didn't need to put like floating particle dust.
I have to know about the
windows.
That's a good point. I will say my one major gripe, right, is who puts a mirror up here?
Sure.
Who's looking in that mirror?
Sure. My major gripe, and I don't like to be critical, but the whole area is slightly offset to the left. There's way more free room on the right side.
That's true. The feng shui is off.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. So with the first one, the stocks were down, but I want that money, or I got that money, and everyone was happy for me, but then I got in trouble and I had to surrender to the police.
Oh,
and
shit.
I can be like, well, the police are usually right, which Ice-T would be very disappointed in me for saying.
I wouldn't say.
I could say, you know, well, at least you were, what happened to your celebration? Or I could be like, who were those people that were cheering for you? Maybe they're helpful. I feel like the police, you know, they probably did something wrong there. I'm going to explore that avenue because, you know, people got to take responsibility for their actions here.
Sure.
So now I don't have any money and I'm really mad. So I'm thinking, oh, I can steal, I can sin.
He's gonna heist?
Oh no, he's gonna corrupt the cop. He's bribing the cop.
Oh, pay off the cop.
Right. And I'm just thinking like, okay, maybe that's not okay. But now I'm just like, what? Bribe the cop? Or, you know, money was pretty awesome. So, you know, again,
the bull has
I don't want to
called
cast judgment.
The bull's saying it's like Mike's in a fever dream, just trying to interpret abstract nonsense. But again, I think you're doing a really good job.
I'm like, see, this is the only non-judgmental option here, right? Because I'm like, I can't be like, what? Why are you doing that? And I also can't be like, hey man, I'm doubting you here, but I just can't get behind the whole like, it's money, so it's cool. So I'm just gonna be like, really paying off a cop here? He's like, no, what did you say in here? So he gave some money to a horse. No, he didn't. Probably a messenger. He mailed something maybe.
Oh, okay.
People ghosted him. So, yeah. Well, you know what?
He's been abandoned.
I say either you hang out with the cop and work things out with the cop and everything's good, or we party with the horse. That's not what that means.
I like the horse party.
Obviously, that means like send something in the context of this, but I'm saying like party with the horse, right?
Party with the horse, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Like that's what you and Miley Cyrus would do. Let's go party with a horse.
Party with the horse.
Done.
He's dressed like, oh shoot, what's the doctor from Jurassic Park?
No, yeah. I don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about.
I was
thinking like it's kind of like Dick Tracy. Yeah. I think the first bit of idea or information I gave him, he didn't really care for so much, but that's pretty good.
I think that's solid.
That's
a fun game. So
yeah.
Again, this was one that they said they finished in 48 hours, and they likely went back through and polished after the fact. But like,
I don't know. Well, this game's fairly simplistic, all things considered. I bet you this is a game that they probably had the core mechanic done Friday, which I always advise. Always try to have your game done Friday, so that way Saturday is a full day of polish and Sunday is just wrapping up a little bit. So I bet you they could have knocked this out in 48 hours.
I like it. I think it's a very cool concept. I think like incredibly unique, and that's kind of something that I've learned as I've started to see a little bit more game jams, because they're new to me as well, is that some of the ideas that come out are incredibly unique. They're not like a lot of times they're not like following every single trend in the industry. They're really breaking out and trying new things, which I think is so exciting, because I think that is largely what our games industry needs is some diversification and some new and exciting things. So I love that it kind of provides this opportunity for people to go and live that creativity.
Absolutely. And there's so many great games that have started that way. So there is like Super Hot started as a game jam game. That's for the 7-day FPS, I believe, was the game jam. Well, now I've got the music playing in my ear, so it's hard to like remember some of the other ones. But a lot of Binding of Isaac was, I believe, either Summer Game Jam or Global Game Jam. But a lot of great games. The idea started at game jams, right? So cool. There's a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah. So that was the first one, Dr. Emoji by Vainary in 2020. I believe Refer says the Play Store dev name is Todd L. So if Todd L and team get this message, know that we really enjoyed your game. The next one that we're going to move on to is called Trust Me, I Got This.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch this up because I just realized that they have a downloadable version instead of a browser version.
Okay.
And the downloadable version, I can control the audio on.
Oh, great.
So it won't necessarily be so loud.
All right.
So give me 1 second here, and I will just... Yeah, I appreciate that. Because
I'm going to doing it live. We do it live. That's what we do around here. Kloppy says, thank you for such a cool emoji language class. Honestly, I was very impressed with Mike's ability. But I know we talked about this in terms of a Unity-led game jam. It's something that I'm really curious about, new and exciting ways to bring everybody together in the live stream space. Again, we've got 4 more streams after today related to Global Game Jam, where if you come back tomorrow, you'll learn about a Global Game Jam survival guide, tips and tricks, maybe tools that you can use to find your own success in a game jam. And then the following week, we'll have 2 streams where Team Unity comes together. We're bringing back Joy, we're bringing back Kirk, we're bringing back Sarah. We've got a new face for you all, and they're going to create a game. But if it were something that we were to do on a live stream where we bring everyone together, we provide you guys with a theme, you jam, and then we come back to play some of your games, if that would be something that you'd be interested in, sound off in chat, because I think it seems like a really cool opportunity that we could probably wrangle together in some way, even if it's on a small scale, right? Where we don't go huge and there's not a bunch of in-person sites and it's just the community. I think that could be really fun.
Absolutely. So I lied, by the way, because I haven't been able to change which window this game on the PC version opens in. I'm not sure why. The other ones I could, but the hotkey to move it onto my streamed screen didn't work. So we're going to do this one through the browser.
Sounds good.
There we go. So I'll go ahead and just run here, and maybe a little hard to hear because, again, there's no real way to control the volume through Chrome as opposed to what you're installed game.
What we can do, and it might be tougher on you than it is on us, but like we can get it started, and then if we need to, you can mute the tab if you need to, or we can just mute the input here.
Cool. I'll just mute the tab here, and then so this game here is, trust me, I got this same year, 2020, which means the theme is repair. And so that's effectively what the game is. It's like a little puzzle game where you have a list of things that you have to repair. However, I do feel the need real quick to unmute this so you can hear the voice, because it's one of the reasons I picked this game, because it's awesome. So I'm going to unmute the tab, and you can unmute, and we'll just hear the voice real quick. So first thing, pull down the blinds. Okay, that's easy enough. We got the blind over here. Let's pull this blind down.
Marianna! Tak.
Nope, not happening there. Okay, so pulling on the blind's not working. Let's plug in the TV. All right. Got the TV. That was easy enough, right? But again, the voice is what really makes that. All right, so our TV's busted. If I look here, so we got to fix the TV now. Okay, so grab some duct tape. Got it. Fix the TV. Love it. So, all right, got a drill and a screwdriver. Hang up our painting. Nope. It's really in there.
The guy just screaming at us right now.
So, fun fact, and I'll mute for this. Don't drill into a wall unless you know what's on the other side of it. I've been there. I drilled through a ceiling truss. I was actually in a conference call just without my camera on at Unity here when I was like, you know what? While I'm just listening in, I'm going to drill some holes in my ceiling because I was running some 220 line, and I drilled into the 220 line, set my ceiling on fire, blasted myself off a ladder, burnt my hands putting the fire out with my hands because the ceiling was on fire. Always know what's on the other side of the wall. So, and it's funny because I was like, I know there's a power line there, so I got to be real careful. But then I got distracted because I was on a conference call. Probably not the best of ideas. So there you go. There's your tip for the day.
That's your tip. Don't let it blow up.
That's basically it. All right. So, we just jammed the screwdriver in there. That fixes the light because that
seems like
wires. Obviously, that's how that works.
Solution.
And now we're just going to hang the painting. Bam. Look at that.
Honestly, right there.
Hey, if it's dumb and it works, it's not dumb. Right?
I feel like we're giving really dangerous advice right now.
There should be a fair disclaimer, safe harbor statement at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hang this mirror above our sink. You know, you have to have a mirror above the sink. So, all right, up. Well,
Naturally.
Well, we gotta fix the water. Okay, so
We got duct tape already, right?
We'll use it on the TV, but we can
Okay.
drink the wine here anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll enjoy that bottle of wine. Check. And well, wouldn't you know? That's perfect.
Oh, okay. The cork was on.
Cork stops wine. It might as well stop water. And then we could just hang the mirror up and look at that.
Beautiful.
The list is done. Look how great this place looks.
That is a good apartment. Honestly, that's a expensive 1-bedroom in Vancouver where there's a housing crisis.
That's true. That's true.
I like the blurb. Equipped with common sense and wit, you're kindly asked to fix everything in the room. That should be easy, based on real life events. So we see our credits here. Team at
trying to figure out what language that was.
Yeah. Created in 48 hours during Global Game Jam 2020. That's cool. 4 people. Yeah. I like it. I love to see like the camaraderie in the games industry and the game dev community, and then seeing a team with a dream, you know what I mean, come together to kind of create all of this, which I think is cool.
Yeah,
we've got
even their chore list.
I think it was solid, and based on true events makes me nervous for that. But I hope everyone's okay.
It does say that. Okay.
Yeah.
The cool thing too, well, a lot of times with the Global Game Jam games and a lot of Game Jam games, you can like they make videos of the making of. They do like little devlogs. You can see some of the original art and how it all came together. Something that's really cool, right?
I think that's
yeah. So it's pretty neat to see the development process. And again, even if you're not like necessarily participating directly, just even being there and filming or taking record or live streaming or whatever, there's a lot of cool ways to be involved with a lot of these games. So
yeah, get creative. I mean, we talk about the creativity and the actual game design and the game dev side of it. Get creative in the way that you're participating and helping. And I want to share a quick story because you shared how you drilled in and lit your roof on fire, your ceiling on fire. Since there was a leaky faucet there, went to my parents' place, and they live in an ancient home, and their tap wasn't really working. Much smaller, but yeah. I went to change out the taps and didn't turn off the main water supply, and the taps the pipes.
We've all been there.
So old and rusted that all I tried to do was twist off one of the bolts, and it busted the pipe and just pumped water into this basement room for like 3 to 5 minutes until I figured out where the valve was to turn it all off. So I've become a big proponent of get the guy. You know what I mean? Sure, I can try this alone, but I'm just going to get the guy who can do it without breaking stuff first.
Jackson, I challenge you to be the guy. Just know where the fuse box and know where the water main is before you start.
Yeah. We got friends in Twitch saying turn off water before doing plumbing. Also a great tip. Yeah, really strong. Great. So that was, trust me, I got this. We did put the link to it in the chat. So if you want to go and take a look, that's an option for you. Go and show some support for the team. Also, again, saying hey to everybody here watching. I know that there's a conversation happening between the Bull and Refer right now. Refer saying, I love being a programmer, self-taught with no high school diploma or college education. I just want to write C# and Python code for a real job. Bull kind of providing a little bit of like, hey, stick to it. Took 3 years for them. Mike, the games industry is in an interesting spot right now. Do you have any broad advice for people that are trying to break in and find their next opportunity?
Yeah, so it is. The game industry right now is a little rough, but this isn't unprecedented. This isn't unique. This happens generally following any major disruptive technology. We saw big dips after like VR stuff, right? After the first like blockchain stuff, because all this investment money goes into these buzzwordy technologies, dries up funding for just about anything else. I remember so many events last year was like so many great games that were trying to get funding, and it was like unless you include AI in some way, there's no funding for you, right? And so this happens and we'll bounce back. But in the meantime, it's also really important to understand that the skills are so universally applicable. I have to joke around, like, what's the difference between like an architectural demo and a zombie game, right? Well, the architectural demo doesn't have zombies in it. An architectural or a zombie game does, right? Like, but they're both just 3D software. One a building, another a building with zombies in it, right? So there's a lot you can do with real-time 3D skills in a lot of different industries. Like I said, I did a lot of serious games. I did a lot of simulation. I did a lot of things, data visualization, stuff like that, with Unity and in other software and stuff like that in the past. So, don't say, okay, the industry kind of sucks, and I'm going to assume it's going to suck forever, and I'm never going to learn these skills. Instead, understand that the skills will be viable in a lot of different ways, especially as more and more things gamify. We see more training simulation devices. We see so much cool stuff. And so, stick to it. Obviously, keep applying, keep trying, keep building up that skill set through game jams and community events and things like that. But also understand that games are cool, but they're not like, don't put it up on a pedestal, right? Like I used to, when I taught, I'd had these students who were like, I don't like programming, but I'll like it when I'm working on games. I'm like, no, you won't. If you don't like it now, you won't like it then, because, it's, once you get down into the code, it's not fun, it's software. And so, like, don't think like it's this special thing and it has to be this. Like, there's a lot of ways to approach this problem. There's a lot of different skill sets to do so. And basically just understand that in any technology industry, but especially in games, you are going to be a lifelong student, right? There are a lot of tech jobs where you learn the thing, you get the degree in it, and that's that. You know how to do it, and you do it for the rest of your life, right? That's pretty, that's the tradition. That's what our parents and our parents did, and stuff like that. But in modern technology, and especially in games, you will be learning nonstop forever. So get used to that cycle of learning and applying skills and learning and applying skills and learning and applying skills. And if you do that, things will click. It might happen quick. It might happen a little bit more slowly, but it will happen.
Cool. I like it a lot. And Refer says thank you, and I appreciate it. Other people, I love that we're seeing some people hop in here with their own kind of pieces of advice. C. Strawn, good to see you, says learning is good no matter what. Everything can be used, even if you don't know what for in the moment. Quick stars, welcome on in, says, so true. I love making things with code in games, is just one of the things. Of course, we've got Corpus C here as well. The Bull sharing some valuable advice, and hey to Liz. We also saw a little Aaron Sharp wander into the chat a moment ago as well. Great to see everybody. Thank you for being here. We, of course, are just playing some global game jam entries of yesteryear, talking about what we like best about them. We're going to rotate into our next game here in just a moment. I do, of course, want to let you all know that we have put in chat here our survey about these live streams, wanting to learn a little more about you and what types of content would resonate with you. If you guys don't mind, 4 questions should take you less than 3 minutes. Pop in there and give us a little bit of feedback, because we want to build this community space with you, not necessarily just for you. So we want you to have all that input, and we want to see it as well. Mike, we're rolling on to game number 3 here. We've got Voidville.
Yep. And we all heard Jackson just say that we don't want to build the community for you. He said it. I don't agree with that sentiment, but no. Taking quotes out of context. No, I'm just teasing you, man. No, we build it with you, not necessarily for you. But I thought that's kind of a funny way to say it.
Usually I say it the inverse, which makes a little bit more sense. We don't want to just build it for you. We want to build it with you. And that has a much more positive, cohesive message. But I flipped it. And then you're right. Ending strong on, we don't want to build this for you. It's my whole job, but I don't want to do it.
I just got a case of the Mondays.
So that's not fair. The message I want you guys to walk away with. Hey, we want to build this community with you guys.
That's right. Absolutely. So on that note, Voidville, your eyes got huge. You're like, no, Mike, no.
Mike hired me, just so everyone's aware. So Mike's opinion of my work is important. It's like Mike comes in and is like, oh, so first time we're streaming. So this is what you do here. Fine.
Like, oh, I love that. No. I love that for you. So Voidville is this like cool, it's like a sort of a card game tile placement game, and this was from the year 2022. In 2022 the theme was duality.
Oh, cool.
Was the theme. So you're going to see that we're basically balancing nature with chaos, right? Or nature brings, or wait, no, people bring chaos and nature brings like happiness and peace and stuff like that. So nature tiles are going to reduce chaos. People tiles are going to increase chaos. And we got to see how big of a city we can make with as many people as possible while still not being like fully chaotic. And it's kind of neat. So you see we start with one tile and we get two choices, but in this case the choice is the same, so we're just going to go town center. There we go.
Cool.
And so now we get our first choice. Do we want to like start digging into chaos with like a market, which will give us 1 housing when we place it? It'll cost us 3 money, which I don't actually think we can afford, and give us 1 chaos, but then every turn it brings us back 2 money. Reduces happiness by 1 every turn because capitalism, and gives us 2 chaos every turn. Or the hills gives us 1 happiness on placement and then subtracts 1 chaos every turn. So we're gonna go with hills because we can't afford the other one. So I'm just gonna start growing out some nature. We got a farm. Can we afford a farm? We've got 1 coin, so yeah, we can afford a farm. So I'm gonna put the farm over here on the other side of the hills. How's the volume on that? Is it too loud?
It's a little loud. We can bring it down.
There we go. I got it. Here we go. So we can go heavy into farming. No, we can't. We don't have any money. Yeah, not enough gold. So my choice is here, just another plains. There we go. So now we can start bringing in. Well, no, hostels are going to cost us money, which we don't have. Man, so far we're not doing great on the money. So I'm just going to do some mountains here. I'm just going to lean into nature here.
The mountains have smiley faces, and that makes me happy.
Right? Yeah, the mountains, they give you food and they give you money the first time you place it. And they give you happiness every turn and they reduce chaos every turn. So look at that. So I'm just going to keep placing some houses maybe. And now we've got a mine. Mines give us 4 money when we place it, 2 chaos, and every turn it gives us 3 money. So obviously lots of money here. And of course, you got to have a mine next to the mountains because that's just where mines go.
Of course.
And then, I'm going to continue building out my little neighborhood here with some houses. There we go. Now we're going to have a hostel. That's more housing, though it's going to start costing us some money. So sure, let's go with a hostel. Oh, but we're going pretty heavy into chaos now. So let's just keep going. Double mines, money all the way, baby.
I really like this art style. Our producer says, "Happy little mountain." Bob Ross, probably.
Happy little mountain.
Aaron Sharp in chat saying, "I love the style of this game." There's something about it. It's very endearing.
Right.
I like it.
And it's a simple mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that you end up building your own little narratives. Like I'm immediately thinking, hey, what do you need when you're done with your shift on the mine? Right? You need just a little park, just a little. Oh, I fell into chaos. I wasn't paying attention.
Got to balance the chaos.
I got to balance the chaos, man. I wasn't paying attention at all.
Oh, okay. So it
got
gives
some
you
planes.
different options. So I have to imagine that these are maybe randomly generated each time.
Yeah, probably. Place a park over here. Gotta have a school. Oh, not enough gold for a school. If that's not the truth. There's never seems to be enough money for our school systems. All right, we got a mountain over here. Voidville is radicalizing people.
We're dancing around some politics here today. We're really getting into it.
I'm losing money every turn. I'm in debt here. That's not good. But
money's not even real.
Yeah, it is. It's true. It's all made up.
Yeah.
So I can place a house. So there we go. There's a house. And the parks continue to lose me money. So I'm just gonna go lake over here. Let's just keep building.
Brings up the value of those homes for sure.
That market can't do the market, so
but the market would have given you.
I'm kind of separating things with this natural plane, and it doesn't seem to be like I didn't seem to be able to lose from running out of money or anything, only from chaos. So I gotta be real careful here.
So the message is, who cares if you go bankrupt? Protect the environment.
There you go. That's a pretty sharp message. I like that. That's pretty good.
We'll keep our eyes open because there might be a different, more succinct, more applicable message here.
All I know is I'm going heavy into debt, but I'm like so anti-chaos right now, and it's fine. Yeah, so I'm just now we'll bring our first mine. That's great. And our second mine, why not? It's the mines that got me last time. But you know what? I didn't learn anything. So there we go.
Don't learn from those mistakes. Why would we?
Yeah, still don't have enough gold to build a farm yet.
We on the Twitch side here, Unhinged Ray says, "Hey, I'm new to game jams. Can anyone please help me out? If you let us know a little more specifically what you'd like some advice on, we can probably do that." Mike's got a lengthy resume and experience in game jam development. But tomorrow's stream, same time and place, we'll be sitting down with 2 Unity insiders and content creators, one of whom has a wealth of experience. And the whole theme of that stream is a game jam survival guide. They'll be sharing tips and tricks and tools to help make your game jam experience excellent.
There we go. Schools bring a lot of happiness. I have 2 schools hanging out in between a lake here.
I looked away for 1 second. I look back. You have much money, happiness. Everything is good, and your chaos is still incredibly low. I don't know how you did it.
Right? I'm killing it, man. Let's ruin it with a market. It's just embracing nature. That just seems to be the way to go. So we're still okay. We're escalating chaos a little bit. So we need some more mountains, some woods here. There we go.
This is cool. I like the visual frame of reference as it like slowly pans out, and it paints the bigger picture of kind of the sprawling, which I think is great.
Schools cost me a fair bit of money, but they give me a lot of happiness here. So let's get some more housing. So we start growing some more people.
It looks like you're making six money every turn.
Yeah, there we go. 8 money every turn now.
But now your chaos is kicking up 5 a turn.
Yeah, but we're going to reduce that down here with some nature. Look at that.
We got it.
It's just some natural plains. You start wanting to like kind of put like items together and cataloging them, but I'm not doing that. I'm letting chaos reign in a way by just putting them on a mountain over there. They just discovered it. It was there all the time.
They built the houses before they saw the mountain.
They just looked up and went, oh, wow. Hey, look, that's majestic. Okay. Man, we're just killing it. I feel like I could do this forever now. At this point, I've got my engine built.
Yeah, I think you've got this in kind of autopilot. You could basically just place anything anywhere and you'd keep it going.
Yeah.
Only 14 people living in this town right now? Is that right?
No, it's 14 food, and that's what's ultimately limiting me and my people. Housing,
it's happiness.
29 people and 14 food. I haven't placed any farms is the problem, because the farm, I placed one, but the farms keep coming up when I don't have the money.
Right.
So, but I have there's a farm of a vast surplus of money now.
I like Aaron's idea here in the YouTube chat. Says, I think for version 2 of the game, there could be some strategy consequences to weigh about where the tiles are actually placed. I think that's cool, right? Like if you're putting a mine right in the middle of the village, maybe you get some sort of slap on the wrist, or you put a lake in the middle of the village. Woo!
Lake next to the mine, start getting all that polluted water, like Flint, Michigan. Yeah.
Or does the water keep the mine clean? We'll never know for sure. We've also got Jay Island saying, hey, I'm a sound designer at the moment, developing an app with a really big team in the UK, looking for more project. Does anyone need sound design? Any advice where I should aim? I recommend you go and check out discussions and the official Unity Discord. It's a good opportunity for you to connect with other people working and using Unity to create their own projects, and maybe hop in there. Also, we're talking a lot about Global Game Jam, which will be happening later this month. And game jams are a great opportunity to hop in and get creative and really flesh out your resume and your portfolio, your demo reel, if you will. And it sounds like sound design and people that are working in audio might be in high demand pretty much every turn. Because I feel like, is that a less approachable role in terms of game jams, Mike?
No, I mean, it's one of those things where you need to have sound designers, people that could create audio and stuff like that at game jams. You tend to not have like tons and tons of them, right? Because it's a more rare skill set anyway. However, the more the merrier, because then games can, like, usually the game jam site close to mine, there's a guy, Ian, he does a lot of the audio, and he's usually just running around in full panic because everyone just needs Ian to make the audio because he's the only one who can do it. And so there's less opportunity to get real creative. So the more folks you have, the more creative the audio and the games can be. So yeah, definitely a high in-demand, fun opportunity with game jams, because you won't generally join a team. You'll generally be a part of everyone's teams. And sound designers, they kind of cheat because they walk away and their names are in the credits of like 10 different games. And it's like, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay Island, it sounds like your skill set may be in high demand. I see you saying that you were checking out the website for the jam. Look for a location, check it out. And again, if you want to connect digitally with people in the Unity community, you're in a great spot to do it. But also, again, discussions and Discord are a great place to follow up. Weekend on the Twitch side saying that this could be a prequel to the Emoji game, people dealing with someone's city planning decisions. I think that's really cool. I think
And
that's
someone's
awesome.
like, "Who built this city?" It just feels like someone at a whim just
Yeah.
placed stuff, and it was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what happened."
You're not
Welcome to
wrong about
Voidville.
that. Do you let me ask you a question, Mike, as myself, someone with no game jam experience, really curious. Do people ever come in and make like sequels? They're like, hey, I'm gonna make a follow-up to the game that I made last year based on this year's theme.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that they don't, right?
Yeah.
It's not common
Okay.
because usually, again, the spirit is like, let's try something new. And it's also fun too. Like I'll often try to even different technologies. I'll dip my toe in like maybe some different generative stuff, just because it's just for fun, just for the weekend and things like that. So usually people diversify in like the tech choices and the team compositions, stuff like that. It's rare to get someone to want to make a sequel because that would mean they had to be the same team as last year, generally speaking, which isn't super common. Usually people come in and it's like, let's team up with other people, right? Because that's part of the experience is getting to experiment, try new things. So while I wouldn't say that no one does it, I'm sure someone does it, right? It's just not a fairly common thing.
Yeah, that's cool. I think if I were to dive into game jams, I'd be like, create something excellent at some point along the way, and then each subsequent one be like, I'm going to continue the series, and it's just going to be like whatever I feel like. It's been cool to see a lot of like major, pretty big names in games start to make completely different genres within the same game universe, right? Like League of Legends and Riot has done auto battlers, and they have a new fighting game coming out, and they have a platformer that was made in Unity, and we had all these really cool things. So I think there's I love seeing that level of creativity of taking like a familiar property and just branching out.
I mean, it's interesting. You see these trends where truly like the indie game development scene is the lifeblood of the game development industry, right? Because the bigger companies can't really afford to take major risks because of the overhead costs of doing so. So innovation really happens at the indie and small, medium business level. And in that vein, game jams really are the lifeblood of the indie scenes, which is even a smaller microcosm to try things out and stuff like that. And and you see from that, okay, this indie mechanic worked, this indie game worked. And so you see, bigger studios start adopting it once it's a little less risky to do. So again, a lot of cool ideas, a lot of interesting things come up. Sometimes they get turned, like I said, into fully fledged games. A lot of times they don't. But still the seeds of those ideas kind of perpetuate on, and you'll eventually see like a lot of titles are like inspired by this game jam game. Not necessarily the same thing, but just a spiritual evolution of these games, which is really neat.
I like all of that. It's something that I think on and reflect on often, is like the indie scene in the games industry and how important it is, because you're right. When massive companies are spending massive amounts of money, they can't really change trajectory and take risks on things. I think it's been interesting to see like EA has their own division where they're like, we've got all of the sports games, they're going to keep doing their thing, but over here we're going to try some new things. And I like to see that. But like, even look at the games industry in the last year, like some of the most talked about games, some of the most highly regarded games, Balatro was made by, I think, one person. Animal Well, a very similar situation.
Animal Well was one person. I'm not sure about Balatro, but I know Animal Well was.
If not one, a very small team. Like, it's really cool to see. It's really heartening to see that all of the hard work and dedication and passion, it breaks through. And we've got some really cool ways, I think. We talked to a team about their game Void Crew a little while ago. Very cool game if you haven't checked it out. But they said that the way that they go through their hiring process is they go to local game jams and they see who's working on what and what they've created. And that's like a scouting opportunity for them. So you've kind of got like this dual win participating in game jams by building out your portfolio and making connections with potential people that you can work with again in future. I love it. Let's rotate here into game numero cuatro.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you. I was like, is that right? Because I'm in Canada and I could tell you what it is in French, but I don't know if that was right in Spanish.
What is it in French?
Nombre quatre.
Oh, that feels like you just made that up. I don't know.
I'm really nervous that I said name instead of number, but
you did say nombre, right? I don't.
As soon as I said I speak more French, I was like, I don't know that that's really that true.
You talked a big game. You're like, oh, I can say it in French.
Thank you to
I should have called you on it.
Kodak Fodai on the Twitch side saying awful French. Thank you.
Oh,
and
someone.
Hunter
Yeah.
Tank, who's just got it backwards, which I mean, that works as well. So this next game is called Lullaby of Life by One Simple Idea from 2020 or 2017. That's a long time
2017's
ago.
theme was waves.
Cool.
I
So
remember
Mike,
this
you
here.
picked this game. You played through it. You were like, it won't let me start over. So we could get it from the beginning. But then you played through all of it and you were like, this is still worth playing. So that's, I think,
Yeah.
speaks
I
volumes.
speed ran it a little bit and got to a point and then was able to reset it. So yes, so let's cut it in. And this was available on Steam, so it's obviously a game that had some additional work put into it after Global Game Jam, which again, I'd love to be able to go back and see what it looked like in its Game Jam inception, but actually the link was just kind of dead on the Global Game Jam website because I think it might have just been an old server or whatever, and I didn't really feel like hunting it down. So I'd actually be quite curious to check that out. But this is a slightly more polished version because this now is a commercial game that you can buy on Steam. This just happens to be the demo of that game. So interesting stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some of the lists that we went through with Global Game Jams when they sent it to us. They're like, here's the Game Jam link, and it's releasing on Steam this year, or it's already on Steam. So it's really cool to see that people create something, they like it enough that they continue working on it until they get to a place where they're like, let's release this as a full-fledged indie game.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing too, that I think is really neat is games don't have to be these like big commercial success machines, right? Like you can make a game jam game or whatever, finish it, polish it, and sell it as like an hour long, 2 hour long experience. Some people will dig it, some people won't. It's fine. You know, it's not going to like, again, be the thing that more than likely propels you into the stratosphere. But at the same time, why not? Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value in that, and people get to enjoy very unique experiences, you know, that just fill up some time.
Yeah. For me, like to sit down in one evening and start and finish a game is like a dream. I need that palate cleanse from like massive, sprawling, lengthy games.
Right. Can't always do a Baldur's Gate 3. So we hit this little button. Oh, look at that. And it's
cute.
It's kind of fun. I don't know if you can hear the sound effect. I should turn it up.
A little bit. Yeah, we could go a little more.
Right,
This is a stupid question, but does our little character have a name? Or should we work as a community to name this little guy?
I think we should name the little guy. I've not seen a name listed anywhere. I'm sure the character has one. I've just been sort of calling him Blobbo. But
Blobbo, not bad. If anyone has any recommendations, throw those in chat. We'd love to hear them.
He looks a lot like the Muppet, right? There's always like that yep, with the eyes on the top, right? Just a little bit. So we got, okay, so the wall blocks you this way. So obviously you got to try to get the other side here. So it's a real simple mechanic. You see, like, all right. But we're just solving puzzles, and it's nice and peaceful.
Amoeba's a good name.
Amoeba, that's a good one.
Blub Kiss. Blub Kiss is strong. Thank you, Reid. Teardrop. Ooh, strong. Paints a picture, gives him a little personality in the name.
There you go.
I really like the differing art styles, I suppose, where like the color palettes are all very, very different. Yeah. But they all kind of work really well together. Like the foreground, the border, and then the background are all, I mean, they're actively different shapes, but they're different color palettes, and it just it's so visually striking. I have to pause to give a shout out here to Slimothy. That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you, C-Straw. Mitochondria Smith is strong. Mitochondria Smith. Oozbirth. This is when our Unity community steps up. It's when like they're hanging out, they're lurking, they're listening in the background. No shame, no issues with that. But as soon as we ask them to name something, it just fills. And that's when everyone's like, oh, listen and look at all my creativity. I love it. I was thinking like Gumdrop World Ender. Like doomsday device. Like these are just planets, and he's just like destroyed. Whoa. There's a whole head cannon of like, he went dark. Oh yeah, it's a nice universe you have there. Destroyed. So we got the classic put the crate on the button mechanic as we swim on over here. It's a classic for a reason, right? Right, exactly. So we'll destroy that little candy thing, and then
Just cute little.
I'm
You
glad
also,
you
I don't
turned
know
up
if
the
you
audio.
noticed this, but there's like a cool little pattern in the
Yeah.
sound wave.
Yeah, it's got all of the individual ripple waves, but on the outer rim and one rim inside, you've got the spirals that circle around it too. I think that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I have to imagine that there's such a layer, a sense of just calm, creative juices when you are layering in visual effects for something, where it's like you start here and we're going to slowly add a little bit more, a little bit more.
You can really see the
Each one
patterns
looks
in
cool.
this area here.
Whoa! Oh, they're different. They're
Yeah.
different because they had
You don't
the
see it
spirals.
behind them.
Oh,
That you couldn't really see it in the
cool.
other, but you can see them there. Now we're
Okay,
just
so
doing a
it's
little
they didn't
bridge.
remove them. It's just depending on what they're overlaid with.
So now we're
Cool.
in the purple world, and this is where it gets fun because now you pick up a friend. So you've been able to do spirals so far, but now you can do spirals and this symbol, which has a different little pattern in the back.
Cool.
Now it's about layering the different sound effects together. So this I have to do a spiral, like an X and a spiral. So I'll
Oh, cool.
bloop,
So you have a
bloop.
friend.
Yeah, and by the end here, you, or at least with this demo, you get several friends actually, and there's actually kind of a cool. Up, get out of my way! No one likes you, failed Lucky Charm cereal. Shape.
We've got Hunter Tank saying coders love naming things, especially when they don't have to type it out 1,000 times after. C. Strawn saying I spend 90% of coding naming things. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
And Sir Squishy is another suggestion. I like that he's the idea that he's royalty.
Right. That's true. And I'm a big fan of like new variable 1, new variable 2, new variable 3. No, don't do that. That will drive people insane.
Mike, I feel like if we went the entire stream without talking about this, I would be remiss. But you have mentioned the idea to me in the past of getting a custom arcade cabinet made with all of the indie games that you've created over time. Has there been any progress?
There has not. I really should. That's a goal of mine. But someday, I have a snake now, little snake.
Oh, little snake guy.
So I'm building my entourage. I'm rolling deep, is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
30 nation army. Oh, 2 snakes is required here, and I'm just thinking 2 snakes in this economy. Like, who can
getting
make
a little
that work?
nuts?
Yeah. Okay, this is the part I wanted to get to because this is kind of neat. And then, yeah. But so we go into this, like, create this little black hole thing. And I'm like, yeah, hey, what could go wrong with just jumping in that?
Naturally.
As Gumdrop World Destroyer does.
As one does.
All right, so now I've got this new button. And you mutate.
Wow. Oh, we got 2 now.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, interesting.
Definitely need to go to the doctor to get that strange growth checked out.
Oh, yeah. That's not normal. That shouldn't just arise in your day. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be something you just encounter.
I woke up with an extra button. It's weird. And now we can just...
Dang, this is great. So is this still the demo version or is this all of it?
This is the demo, yeah. So it's a pretty sizable demo, but you see like the little symbols there and then the snake one symbols there.
Which one's your favorite?
I like this one a lot.
Me too.
Dual snakes. And you get some new shapes and stuff. And eventually, like, you have to like toggle shapes. Like you get this thing here that sort of floats around, but you have to toggle it on and off and stuff, which is kind of neat. Or these ones, you just bump into them and they make the... Anyway, it's fun. It's definitely worth checking out. I mean, the demo, it's probably like 15 to 20 minutes worth of gameplay. There's like the full retail game, but it's nice, relaxing. It's not, I mean, not overly complicated puzzles, but then again, I only played the demo. It could certainly get more so, but it's a fun little relaxing. I found that I enjoyed it more for just the whoa visuals than really anything else. It was just
even the audio design, I think they feed into each other really well. Like the whoa visuals about, like, it's got a very calming approach to puzzle solving, and the audio I think complements it perfectly. Like the tones that play when you press your buttons and how they accompany just kind of like the ambient soundtrack in the background is fantastic.
Absolutely. It's very harmonic. So
good buzzword. I think this game was made by 8 people I think I saw when I was looking into it. And honestly, this is super cool. And I love, again, the kind of inferred story arc of they created this at a game jam and then they went back and they continued to work on it and they put out a full release, which is kind of the dream. I think that's
I will call out the link we're sharing in chat. I believe is the one that doesn't work. That is the original 2017 site. You see that v3.globalgamejam.org. I think that link is broken up or broke. But if you just, again, go to Steam and just search Lullaby of Life, you'll find it there.
Perfect. My experience with that link is that it took a long time and told me that it broke a bunch, and then I hit refresh a few times, and then eventually it worked. But then I went to download stuff, and that didn't work either. So
okay, so it seems like it's an old backup version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the Steam page will have what you need.
Yeah. So again, shout out to One Simple Idea and the team that worked on this. Lullaby of Life. I'm glad that we were able to play it because I know that there was, like I said, on my end, I was trying to make it work and it just wasn't going. So Squishaman Button instead of Benjamin Button is also a solid name.
Squishaman Button. I like it.
Squishaman Button. Yeah. Mike, I know we have one more game that we had potentially intended to play, but we're pretty close to the end of our time here. So
it's up to you, man. I feel like we got to see you play a game.
You want to see me play one?
Even if you speed run it.
I'm really good at games, so really good at games. Not to brag or anything, but I'm a good gamer. So all right. This one is Townseek made by Whales and Games. And I'll be honest, I didn't play a ton of it, but what really happened is I opened it and I was so like taken by the art style that I was like, okay, let's dive deeper into this. I like this a lot. So there is a full version coming on Steam. This one, of course, was created in 2021. So again, cool to see people kind of circle back around to their passion project and make it work. Hunter calling out famous last words. So modest from Reign of Jazz. I'm pretty good at this. And then we're going to get into it and you're going to be like, what are you talking about?
That's how it goes.
An idiot. So you can hop in here and it looks like it's very much like an economy-based game. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to buy low, sell high, but Captain Jawline's here. Again, I like the UI. I like the color choices. I like the character design and the map. So Shark Dwell, solid. Good idea on a free game. Wish link. We'll get you a link. Don't you guys worry. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Hunter saying, picturing first-time Dark Souls player. Don't worry, guys. I'm really good at games. Yeah. Good luck.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? I remember playing Dark Souls for the first time and being like, wow, I don't understand the hype. Everyone gave this game a 10 out of 10. Why? All right, let's check this out. So we've got question marks, new landmark discovered. Got to get closer.
I like that the shark is above the water when traditionally they're below the water. I'm just saying.
Right? Tell them there's no constraints. You know, you can do anything you put your mind to, shark. So
you have land sharks. Why not sky sharks?
It's true. Oh, remember street sharks?
Oh yeah, I remember street sharks.
Man. So we're doing a lot of exploring, and of course, we could go through and buy everything. I don't know what seems important for me to buy right now. Hello, stranger. Need to refill your supplies. Dish the place. Is this Scottish? Mind the Cold. One of many temporary settlements of the regional nomadic Vikings. They like roaming around.
I don't feel like with a name like Mjolnir, it's Scottish.
Was it? Is that what the name was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not. Scottish. Trying to read out, I didn't read the name, but trying to read out the words, I was like, wow, I'm just inherently sounding a little Scottish. So I don't know if I have a series of objectives here. So we have a collection. We've got different balloons that we can create here. It looks like we've got a fishing. Sorry. The one thing that will distract me in any game is any kind of fishing minigame. I'm just gone. I will never return to the actual game itself.
I've got a fun story about that, actually. So, World of Warcraft, I used to be horribly addicted to that game. But fishing, leveling up your fishing skill in the game took forever. And, you couldn't just create like a bot that would do it for you because they would monitor for stuff like that and you'd get banned pretty quickly. So wrote a piece of software that would analyze the pixel colors of the screen and it would find the bobber. And basically when that color changed, because the bobber got pulled in by a fish, it would just send a mouse click event. It wouldn't actually interact with the game in any way, shape, or form. It would purely analyze the outputs of the screen and send a mouse click without any knowledge of any app running or anything like that. And in doing that, I was able to fish up or like level up my fishing and like 2 nights of just AFK bot fishing without ever getting caught. So
what you're telling me is you outsmarted the bot, the anti-bot software that they had.
I don't know about any of that, but so you're like, yes, I want to be distracted by fishing. And I'm just like, nah, man, like, let's let the machine do it.
Fun fact, you don't actually need to do the fishing.
That's right, exactly.
We got Hunter Tank going, wow, security teams entered the chat.
People are like, they're going to report me. Please do, because I can never play that game again.
You.
Yeah, I was too addicted to that game. So if I'm forever banned, that would only be to my benefit.
Yeah, honestly. So it looks like the bulk of this game is just exploring. Like we've got the discoveries and landmarks here. We're just going to check out pretty fun things. Interacting is largely just kind of showing their little voice line or a descriptive opportunity. But the burnt forest,
I dig the art style a lot.
That's what pulled me in. Honestly, if I went through this and was like, oh, I have no idea what the actual gameplay is, which I don't currently. Just staring at the art, and again, similar to the last game, the merge, the intersection of the art and the audio design sounds so good to me.
Yeah, and I like
daily
this
reminder
serrated mystery
to take care of our world.
Oh, that's nice. Is your pointer a fin or a shark tooth?
I think it's a fin with like a cuff on it.
Okay,
like he's fancy. He's got cufflinks on his little fin.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's gentleman nobility.
Naturally, yeah. So I could sell from my inventory or just buy. So again, with things
you think Isha here? Do you think she's Scottish?
A little Scottish influence. You can tell. You can tell about the little Scottish influence. In my defense, Hunter said earlier, there is a Nessie-like creature stood around there, and we went through them. So
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, I like what Toak's saying. It's so nice to find an indie game where you enjoy the mechanics and the art. If you add audio, it just kind of becomes perfection.
Okay, Jay Island, that's your calling, man. He said you got to add audio. So
there you go, Jay Island.
Like dream team coming up here.
Nessie, but with a duck bill.
Well, it did say it was like the Duck Ness monster. Wasn't that what it was called, or the Loch Ness duck, or something like that? So
I'm gonna go find out, because that's an answer I actually can provide. Do I have a map?
Maybe one of the towns. Oh, we got a cat balloon. And a Coliseum. Oh, you got to fight.
Oh, we found origami in the crate.
So you stole someone's origami, because that belonged to someone. That was someone's balloon, and you're just like,
now.
Hey, yoink.
So it gives us an average value. Oh, look at this fishing collection. I got to get the rod though first, and I don't know how. But
the rod was inside you all along. Jackson.
What if the real rod was the friends we made along the way?
Maybe. What if?
So this is where we started, no? The Shark Town? Yeah, with Captain Jawline here.
Captain Jawline.
Let's explore. So again, that's kind of the vibe. Is I just honestly, you're right.
Yeah,
duck,
there he is. What do we got?
Loch Ness duck.
Loch Ness duck. Okay.
So very Scottish, to be fair. And the character I interacted with was here, where they do have what appears to be like a Viking style duck. So maybe the problem isn't with me. It's with the game. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I guess 48 hours wasn't enough time to have cultural advisors.
Maybe that's the new sound designer that wanders around the jam session. Is just like, I can provide help wherever you need it.
I know a couple folks who actually do that a lot with indie titles and even in game jam stuff. So yeah,
it's very important.
Egg just says egg.
Egg says egg.
It's a Pokemon. It says its name.
Egg. 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 Egg.
We got monkeys on birds.
This looks like maybe dogs being held or by their scruff. But yeah, birds flying by.
All right.
Sandy D4. Oh, they're actually D4, Mike.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Fun fact about Mike. Do you want to share your passion for Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, I mean, I figured that was obvious by like just the geekiness of me, but yeah. Currently playing a campaign, doing our Curse of Strahd with a group of friends, but
cool.
Been like at this point, geez, a 30-year DM.
So it is something, and let me just throw it out to the chat here and see what you guys think. Yeah. It's something that we've talked about really briefly, but maybe doing like a D&D, a Dungeons and Dragons one-shot adventure with some big names in the games industry. So you get to kind of see and interact with and converse with and just have fun with some big names in the industry. And Mike steps in to lead everyone through their adventures. And then I'm there. I don't know if I play.
You got to play. Oh, you got to play.
I would love to, but if we get big names, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of cool people, you know?
I want to, I don't want to embarrass myself either, but we'll do it. It'll be all right. We'll just give you a weird character.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, that's where I'll thrive. If you're like, hey, here's 3 character quirks, I'm like, locked in. Give it to me.
Liz says, just give everyone a random character so you don't even know who your character is and you discover it as you play.
Very much like the first. Oh, you discovered you play. I have seen some D&D where it's like scratch off for your stats.
Yeah.
So you don't know. And so you're like, I'm going to try and lift this. And they're like, all right, we don't know if you're strong yet. Give it a shot.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Oh, I'm not. And they're like, cool.
I found a sword. I'm just going to start swinging it around. Is it magical? Yeah.
Liz says, seeing some more human sides of the games, guys, is a good idea. I think that's a beautiful point, very eloquently put, but it is a big part of what we try to do with the live streams is humanize the people that work in the industry, that work at Unity, so that you guys know, and we talked about it earlier, interacting with Unity is difficult, but going to events and seeing the advocates like Mike and his team and being able to interact with actual humans, it makes a big difference. So part of doing the live streams is about kind of perpetuating that as well. And as a result, also getting to know you in the community and seeing familiar names and having you guys come back every week to come and hang out is awesome. Also, free stuff.
I'll just shout out real quick here. Like I've seen C-Strawn, I've seen you in the chat for years. And it's fun to see every time I pop back here. Oh, you're here again. It's awesome. So you see some of these names and you're just like, I haven't seen Steak Pinball recently, but I remember him from like way back. Just man. So
for me, cool. I don't know if you know where along the lines the bull came in, but the bull has been like a mainstay and has been at pretty much every stream since we started, and we love
Bull is new to me.
Oh, no way. Okay.
But
me in my head, he's in my like head canon. He's been here for generations. Like he's persisted. He's vampire energy.
Generational royalty then. So welcome the bull.
Liz has been here since 2018.
Yeah. That's great. I remember Liz. Yeah.
That's very cool. And again, that's one of the exciting things about what we do here. It's establishing these, honestly, borderline lifelong connections in a lot of ways.
Hunter Tank 95 has been to every Unite save one. The first year was in Europe since 2014.
Dang.
There you go.
Very, very cool. Of course, at Unite last year, we did a live stream. We did 2 days of live streams doing essentially what we just discussed, bringing in people, talking to them like humans, really humanizing, hanging out with the team, pretty casual most of the time. We brought Mike on. Mike is the current champion, the current belt holder of the Unity Fighting Game Challenge. Of course, removed the one and only Thomas Winkley from the throne and embarrassed him so hard that he left the company.
He did leave, but that's not why. He got a really awesome job over at Lego. So
he sure did.
And we all wish him well in case he's watching.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas. Yeah, we'll have to bring more of that stuff back. It was awesome.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. So it is something that we're talking about, like, you know, GDC in March. Like, what do we want to do? How do we want to bring people in and have them interact and hang out? And like I said, we've been brainstorming a lot of different ideas for how to create new and exciting content. So there's a lot of cool things coming down the pipeline, cool potential things in the works. And I'm grateful to all of you guys hanging out through all of this time and hopefully into the future as we start to bring some of those big ideas and put them up on their feet.
What did that igloo say? It said not really a landmark, but what?
Looks like an upside down fishbowl. I hope they get good reception. Was there a third one?
There was the not really landmark. Oh, but I admire their dedication. I gotcha. I really had to crash UFO there too.
Oh, it's true. I really
a lot of clever little things here.
Yeah, I think also like a really passive sense of storytelling, which I think is awesome. And discovery in games, I find is a difficult thing to balance, right? You have tutorials that are like, here's everything you need to know about the game. But something that I kind of like in like Metroidvania style games is like the slow discovery. You're like, oh, I can't get there. And I have no idea how I would. But then coming back and being like, let's do it. like now I've got the new skill, and seeing that kind of evolution, and they didn't just kind of handhold it, you had to discover, I think was really, really cool. What's going on, Nebulae Studios? Great to have you. Thank you for joining us. Hunter saying Unity at GDC is cool and all, but I miss the original USA-based Unites. Nothing quite like it. Mike, you have a lot of insight into what the Unite schedule used to be. You want to touch on that?
Oh man, we used to do 8 a year, like all over the world. So yeah, we used to do them all over. But you're right though, the US ones, they were the best. It was awesome, amazing parties. Unfortunately, times change, markets change, things like that. It's not so easy to do these days. But maybe in the future we'll be bringing back the USA or the US based ones. Yeah, it's tough because we do, like, we have GDC on one end and Unite, which we put in Europe kind of at the other end. But no, I hear you. I'm happy that I don't have to like fly around the world to 9 of them again, because that was a lot, especially all through the Asia Pacific stuff. But yeah, I do miss the US based ones. They were really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Toak asking, how could I submit my demo for you guys to try it? Is that possible? It's nothing that we don't have any open submissions right now, but it is another idea that I've kind of tossed around. Like, hey, what if we just have people in our stream community submit games and we go through and play them in a very similar fashion to what we just did today? So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to throw that survey back in the chat here. So if you guys have any ideas, again, for us to know a little bit about you and what type of content you want, there's an opportunity for you to write in stuff. If you've got opinions that you want to share, please be gentle, please be professional, and let us know. Because again, we want to help create this community with you. Mike, don't shake your head. I'm a delicate human being. And if someone comes in and is like, you know what we should do is stop the streams, this is a waste of time, I'll cry. And then I'll never come back.
But crying is good. You should embrace your emotions, Jackson.
I should. You are right. There's growth to be had there, but I can't handle it in my work day. That's my me time at the end of the day. We also talked. Liz saying Mike should teach Jackson Unity in live streams. Mike actually did teach me some Unity in my onboarding, but maybe it's something we can do. It's something we've tossed around, the Learning Essentials pathway, which Learn.Unity has, and it's like start from the beginning. That maybe that's something that myself or a different Unity rep comes in and starts to learn. I think that could be really fun too. So I appreciate the kind of brainstorm opportunity we have here. We talked about it already during the stream, but we've got discussions for you guys to go and connect with other community members, as well as the Discord. So go and check out those things. Liz says one of the options in the survey is the learning, but if you went through Jackson, we could see you grow with it. It is an idea, and when it was originally pitched, it was me, but I'll be honest, I got scared. I got scared where I was like, I don't want to do it. Someone else do it. So maybe it's something that we could do in the future here. I want to give a big shout out here to Lana Lux. Thank you so much for the raid, coming in with 208 people. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to an official Unity stream. My name's Jackson. I'm a community manager here. We've got Mike. Say hey, Mike.
What's up, Lana?
I hope that you guys had a great stream. Lana, again, thank you for bringing your community over here. We do these live streams once, if not twice a week. And of course, we are doing a stream tomorrow where Lana Lux is coming in to share all of the experience, knowledge, and hands-on, just lifelong learning that has come with all of the global game jam and game jam life that they have led, all the games they've created. So we are ramping up the global game jam, which starts next week. So that's kind of what's on our programming. But again, we're live pretty much every week with different opportunities to connect with the community, connect with Unity, connect with other people in the industry, or learn some really, really cool stuff about game design and game development. So anybody come hang out whenever you'd like.
Shout out to Blue Monkey, who said, I'm on Unity right now making a game. One of my first experiences. It's pretty cool. Well done. Stick with it. That's awesome. Jackson, did you pitch him the idea where we just do a live stream where we read Skeletor facts? I feel like we were onto something with that.
We were really onto something. So last year during Unite, we did our live stream and we went to prep and test everything. Lana, take care. Enjoy your raid and run. Go take care of you. Thank you again. But we were setting up for Unite in person. We had all the mics. We had all the gear. So we just wanted to do tech checks. And while we were doing that, our producer was like, we need constant audio. We're like, great, we'll just chat. So we ended up talking about Skeletor. And we ended up going through and we were like, is Skeletor actually a skeleton? Are they a human? They're part human. And we went through like a Skeletor deep dive
I did not realize
More
how
deep
little
dive.
I knew about Skeletor.
We
There are
learned
some
so
deep
much.
facts. There's
Yeah.
a lore there.
We really did. So maybe that's a whole thing. Maybe to make it a little more applicable, we do character design deep dives and we bring in characters from video games and we're like, hey, how were these created? How did they flesh out a backstory? Let's learn about that. Honestly, I love when we brainstorm live on the screen.
That
That's a
was
decent
better than my
idea.
suggestion. I was gonna say like a Skeletor based global game jam game, but your idea is better.
Whoa.
Your idea is a lot better.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
I'll try not to get sued.
All right, everybody. I'm putting a link in the chat right now for our next live stream, which is tomorrow. So come on back. We're going to be chatting with Lana Lux and Soren about global game jam and game jam
Great
preparedness in general. Great people, right? I met them both for the first time in the last few weeks trying to prep out the stream. And I'm like, whoa, you guys are awesome. So they've got a lot of knowledge to share and a lot of eagerness to do so. So come on by. Mike, thank you so much for joining us for today's stream.
Thank you for having me.
I had a blast. It felt like it felt natural. It felt like a return to home.
It felt right.
Yeah. It felt like returning home on Thanksgiving break from university to see all your high school friends, but it's not awkward and lame yet. You know what I mean? Like the first time.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the first time is awkward and lame.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
It was a bad analogy. That's why I had to put on but not lame. but not lame. You know, it feels like this thing that's lame, but it's but remove the lame.
But it's the not version. Think of the most lame thing you could think of. Now reverse that, put a negative sign in front of it, and you've got what this feels like.
I knew you'd get it, Mike. I knew you'd get it. All right, Unity community, we are going to say goodbye to you all. Again, we've got a stream tomorrow that you can come back to and learn a lot more about how to get ready for a game jam. And next week, Team Unity will be here for 2 streams creating a game jam game themselves before we then reveal it the following week. Again, a massive shout out to everybody who was here helping with the stream. Mike as a guest, we got Trey working behind the scenes, and to all of you for joining us. I hope to see you again soon. Keep an eye on all of our community spaces for more information about the streams. We would love to see you soon. Until then, my name's Jackson. Have a great day, everybody.
Cheers.